We are in the Paraskiny Lakes Nature Reserve. It is located in the basin of the river Tobys, about 50-55 kilometers from the town of Ukhta, in the Komi Republic, in the northwest of Russia. This picturesque place occupies the territory of 17.1 hectares and includes a group of karst lakes and sinkholes. As you enter the park through the entrance arc, the first thing you will see is a row of photos of the beautiful nature of the Komi Republic. Near the photos, there is a big wooden statue of Praskovia Mikhailova. I personally think the statue looks rather scary and doesn't resemble real Praskovia. That's why I don't like the statue much. In the recreation area, people can walk along an eco path through the forest, relax in wooden gazebos, or sit on wooden benches and enjoy the amazing view of the nature around and the view of the blue lake. This place is rich in mushrooms and we often came here to pick them up. I don't know if it's allowed to pick up mushrooms now, when the area became a nature reserve. There is also a strange wooden swing on the bank of the river Tobys and a beautiful bridge over a little creek in the forest. The bridge and the tall fir trees standing above look incredibly picturesque. All in all, there are 20 karst lakes, but only 3 of them are under the government's protection. They are Big Paraska's Lake, a Blue Lake and Kaufman's Lake. The lakes were formed in the process of karst sinkholes being filled with water. Although the lakes are not large, they are rather deep, about 11 to 30 meters deep. The lakes are interconnected by underground rivers. Pine trees, birch trees, fir trees, and willows surround the lakes. There are also a lot of rather deep sinkholes in the ground here, not filled with water. The most beautiful lake is Blue Lake. The lake has the blue color due to its depth and also because of the color of some water plants that grow underwater. Scientists say that some very rare species of invertebrates inhabit these waters. Among them, there are even some glacial relic crustaceans. As for fish, there is only perch. In the past, fishermen caught such species as freshwater cod, pike, roach, and minnow. But later, due to the economic development of the region, the ecological situation got worse, and those species of fish disappeared in this area. Now the zoologists are trying to restore the ecological balance of this place. That's one of the reasons why this territory was turned into a nature reserve in 2021. There are plans to make 2 new recreation areas near Big Paraska's Lake and Kaufman's Lake in the near future too. In this video, you can't see those 2 lakes. There will also be a hanging bridge over the Tobys River, a deer farm, a fish farm, and new eco paths through the forest, and also paths leading to deep Karst holes. Big Paraska's Lake is located on the other side of the river Tobys. Since there's no bridge, we can't get there now. Concerning Kaufman's Lake, it's interesting to note that Kaufman is the surname of the man who worked as a prison doctor in the Gulag camp, which was located nearby. The lake was given his name. Kaufman's Lake is also called Butterfly Lake, because if you look at it from above, you'll see that it has the shape of a butterfly. The lakes were named Paraskiny Ozera, or Paraska's Lakes in English, after the woman whose name was Praskovia Mikhailova, and who lived here for a very long time, for many years as a hermit. When she got old, people started calling her Granny Paraska. A few words about Praskovia Mikhailova. Her maternal name was Popova, and she was born in the village of Limva, which no longer exists. Her father was probably Russian, but her mother was Komi. At the age of 24, she married to a prosperous hunter and fisherman Fyodor Mikhailov. In order to escape from collectivization, Fyodor built a house near the lakes in the wood, and they moved to live there. The Mikhailovs kept a household, goats and chickens, and they handed over meat, fish and furs to the procurement office at the Tobys railway station for money. Next to their house, there were houses of 2 or 3 other families. Those people were also trying to escape from collectivization. Then the Great Patriotic War began. That's the term we use in Russia to name the Second World War between the Soviet Union and Hitler's Germany. Officially, it started on June the 22nd, 1941, and was over on the 9th of May 1945. Fyodor went to the front and was lost in action. Anyhow, Praskovia kept on waiting for him in their house near the lakes. She earned her living by hunting, fishing, and giving meat, fish, and furs over to the procurement office. She was so good at hunting that people said she could kill a bird or an animal with only one shot, without taking aim at them. For fulfilling the plan in meat, fish, and furs, she was even presented with a new gun. Praskovia didn't live in her house alone. She and Fyodor had no children, but she adopted her 8-year-old niece, and she brought her up as if she were her own daughter. The girl's parents had been executed by shooting, and no one knows why exactly. After the war, at the age of 50, Praskovia was offered the job of the caretaker of the wooden bridges over the rivers Ukhta and Tobys, and she accepted it. By that time, the other families had started leaving the lakes for Ukhta. Praskovia sold her house and moved to the building of the old vet clinic that was no longer used. In the 1960s, the construction of the gas pipeline began not far from the lakes. The men working on the pipeline admired that wonderful woman. They helped her in any way they could, brought her newspapers, invited her to watch TV, and presented her with a radio set so that she could keep herself up to date to the current events. It was the construction workers who gave the lakes her name. The word about Praskovia spread all over the country, and she became very popular. Newspapers and magazines published articles about her. There was even a movie made about her, and it was shown on Central Television. People from all over the country sent her letters with words of admiration. Praskovia was getting older and her health was getting worse. Her nephew built a house for her in Ukhta, but she refused to move. By the time she was 73 years old, her wooden house in Ukhta had been pulled down, and a big 5-storied house had taken its place. The town administration gave her an apartment in one of such houses, but she lived there only for 1 year. One day she drank cold milk that she kept in the fridge, caught a cold, and very soon she died. That's the end of the story. Lots of families from Ukhta and other towns and settlements of the Komi Republic come to visit this place every weekend. And every time they see the statue of Praskovia, they tell their children and grandchildren a story about this wonderful woman and her beautiful lakes.